and that from their estimation, they believe this plane is in the Java Sea at the bottom of the ocean. Andrea?
Thanks to Katie Turr, who's been working around the clock on this. Deborah Hersman served as chair of the NTSB and is the president and CEO of the National Safety Council and joins me now. Deborah, thanks very much on this sad duty. What do we know, first of all, about AirAsia? This is a low-cost Malaysian-based airliner. No connection to Malaysian Airlines, but tell me what we know about the airline, the safety record, and obviously weather was the big issue.
Sure. Well, you know, this airline is actually in one of the fastest growing parts of the world when it comes to aviation traffic. They have a good safety record, but we all know when it comes to industries like aviation that just because you have a good safety record, that doesn't mean you're immune to events like this. And so safety is something that you've got to really focus on every day, and things happen. And so we're going to all be watching closely to understand what the causes of this crash were.
What are your former colleagues, do you think, at the NTSB? What are other U.S. officials doing in terms of being prepared to help in the search?
You know, everyone, when it comes to aviation, it's an international endeavor. There is no such thing as a domestic event anymore. We've got the world's citizens that are on board. We've got aircraft that are made in different countries around the world with component parts that are from everywhere. So everyone is on standby. International protocols dictate who leads the investigation and who gets to participate in the investigation. And because there is not a significant U.S. interest, for example, this is an Airbus aircraft not manufactured in the U.S., it's an airline that's not originating in the U.S., the U.S. will be serving in an as-needed role. They will be available to support and assist, but they will have to be called on to take advantage of their skills.
Deborah, we've heard all the reports of the weather and that the pilot radioed for a workaround. Can you drill down on that, and what kind of weather would have been in that area? Do we know, what the weather conditions were, and whether or not he really could circumvent it without climbing, because he was denied the permission to climb?
Sure. You know, pilots have to face dynamic situations every day. Weather is one of those situations, and it's not unusual to have requests for pilots to deviate around weather, around turbulence. Just to address this issue, we would expect pilots to ask for clearance, and air traffic control has to work with them as to whether or not that's feasible. But we do know that there are a number of storms, lightning strikes, other things in this area, and so those are going to be things that investigators are going to look at very closely, gathering that satellite radar, that weather information, and also talking to other crews that were flying in the vicinity at the same time.
Well, in fact, we've been told that there were 6 other flights at about the same time. What information can we glean from them? They managed to get through the storm. Is there an issue as to whether or not the plane should even have been flying, should even have taken off, given the weather forecast?
You know, I think as they unravel all of this information about not only what information the pilots had, what information their dispatchers had, what information the air traffic controllers had, people are going to begin to piece together what kind of picture that they had. But it is not new to have unanticipated weather develop. It can develop quickly. It can be more serious than expected. It really is about how people are able to deal with that once it happens. Some of these storms are very big, and so potentially going up and over them may not be the best option, but understanding what that crew knew and when they knew it will be important.
Deborah Hersman, thank you so very much. And joining me now is NBC News aviation expert Greg Feith.